Hi, I'm Laurie Dobson, and today is January 21st, 2021, the day of the inauguration. I just spent the morning listening to the inauguration ceremony of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as President and Vice President, 46th presidency. I was happy, relieved to hear the words from the President-elect, now President Biden, speaking very sincerely that he did intend very much that he wanted to be there for everybody. And we've heard those words before, presidents that have wanted to be there for everybody. He was extremely sincere, and he wanted the truth to be understood and not falsehoods. And I do believe in that moment he was not just trying to direct that comment to those who didn't agree with him, but to those who have different takes on what the truth of the situations are, that he wasn't going to be the one trying to tell us the truth, but he wanted us to understand that we need an atmosphere in our country of non-division, of non-hatred inciting and spewing, and that those who try to sow division are and telling untruths in the name of that, he will not be defeated by that. Now, I may be cherry picking a little bit, because who else was on stage with him? Well, other, uniters, not dividers. Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton was there. They were all on display. However, this is his moment, and he was in self-possession. He was a sovereign person speaking, Joe Biden. And so many times I've heard him, he did not sound like his own man, his own person. But with this presidency actually being his, not being the one behind somebody else, but being his own person, having made mistakes, his son Hunter Biden was prominent in the ceremony there. He was right behind his father or next to him, filling the screen with him. There's issues there. There are corruptions that are part of that he's saddled with. I don't think this is a clean man. He won't be able to have a perfectly clean candidate reign, administration. But we're not. God is merciful, and one of the prayers was, I think it was in the poem actually. Amanda Gorman, yes, she talked about how mercy informs the might, and the might informs the right, and then the just. So, it's a transformative process, but we do have mercy at the heart of it. So I think there was a strong appeal through the prayers to a religious population that is very torn right now. And I think Biden felt the heart of the pain in those moments in his speech. And I think he was really, truly reaching, not just across an aisle or a divide, but into the hearts of those who have been in pain. I don't know that he'll be the one to have the policies or the programs, but if he can direct, and I direct, what Socrates did, direction from a higher plateau, from a higher plane. And if he can stay there, and he's an elder statesman, so he has the stature of being a longtime member of the Senate. So he's seen things, he's done things. Can someone like him be redeemed? Can someone like him be rehabilitated in the office of the president? He's not had that before. There's a chance there. We all had these hopes with Obama that he would really rise to that occasion, and he continued the policies of Bush. Bush brought us to war based on lies and was never held accountable. He was there. Everybody's getting, hugs and kisses from Garth Brooks after he sang Amazing Grace, and I think that was profound. He didn't stand on ceremony or social distancing. He gave every first lady and every president that was there on the way back after he sang his song a big hug, without his mask, and the lack of fear in that gesture, and the immediate response from those people, it shows that's a lie. There's a lie that's going on there that has to be exposed. And there are lies that are going to have to be exposed. We're going to have a commitment to the truth. But we can't just and we can't condone our own lies that we've been putting out there in the hopes that maybe we could make them true, be what you would seem to be, kind of a thing, put out what you'd like and make it happen, make it be so. Well, there's wishful thinking, but so that's not necessarily truth-telling. But truth-telling has to come at a cost of candor, has to talk about the way things are at this time, at this present time, and it can't just be fantasy thoughts. It also can't be, truth-telling can't be a platform for unbridling yourself on someone because you're still angry. You're still coming out of your anger, and there was so much of a call for that to be ended, for a new day to begin. But will that message be heard, or is there too much of a commitment to carrying on the policies that people make their livelihood on, which is in the media, which is to create a sense of division and fear, because that's when we listen and we say, oh, okay, there's something going on here, breaking news. We have a 24-hour news cycle that we've created to entertain ourselves. And there's a place for fantasy. It's called reading books, understanding the difference. But when we're talking to people and informing their minds in the midst of crises and crisis after crisis, it's really imperative not to spread false narratives or to raise the temperature, to take the calm of the situation and to ratchet it up. And that's what the media did 1 minute after Biden, the ceremony was concluded and the benediction was said, and the media had their chance to weigh in. It took 1 minute, and then at 2 minutes they were basically using the concept of truth that Biden was talking about, that we need to have a commitment to truth. And they were saying that truth has to be has to basically attack the untruths and the lies of Trump and his side. So they're making a division on that, and there's no monopoly on truth. But they were trying to make it sound like the side that was in power now was there because they had truth on their side. In fact, that remains to be seen, whether there was truly truth on their side, or whether there was some elements of truth in the accusations of voter fraud, election fraud, and we won't know that now because that's all been pushed to the side, and there aren't any commissions that are committed to learning about that. They want to have a 9/11 type inquiry into the Capitol uprising, as they call it, and to try to hunt those people down, because as long as they can find criminals, then they have truth on their side, because the other side is bad, and then they can always find people to attack, and they're still doing that. There's an impeachment trial, and those aren't ways to come to truth. Those are just ways to continue to bury the hatchet in the backs of your enemies. So whether we bury the hatchet and find ways to move forward, to the extent that we do, we will heal and follow those words of true wisdom that were spoken today, or whether it's just yet another round of hate-filled rhetoric that's just itching to have a chance to spring out there. They couldn't contain themselves. I knew they'd come back to their old hue and cry, but I didn't think it would happen that quickly. 1 minute after, it was over. So the media has a part to play in all of this, and we have to take responsibility for our media, the places we get our information, our news. We must inform them what we will and will not stand for. So that can happen. People can do that. There's a lot of pushback now on Twitter for censoring. They've lost a lot of money in the stock market and Facebook, down 17%, I heard, and that's people pushing back. So we have to not just push back against falsehood, but push forward with truth. And truth, the true message there that I heard was that there is a place to get to where that we are not divided in common law and the common good, that there is a place that we can rise to where we are not divided. by appealing to that higher ideal that holds us together as Americans, we can get there, but we have to really cleave to that. And the people that had a lot of flags that they brought to the Capitol, well, there were a lot of flags down on the, the Capitol grounds, covering the grounds. Jingoism is, always when you have your symbols and you rah, rah, rah. But in this case, the flag, to me, it was consecrated again in the singing of Amazing Grace, the poem by the young poet laureate, youth laureate, Amanda Gorman, by Biden's own words, by the prayers, the two wonderful prayers, and by the well-meaning efforts of so many to bring truth to power, to the Capitol, to try to do that. It went awry, but I believe people will continue, because this is all we have, and we Americans don't want our country to go down in flames with hatred, whether it was this summer or this fall or this spring when we all had to accept home imprisonment, house arrest, and with the idea that that's going to be a constant now, a given, a permanent war on virus. It's like a permanent war on terror where we never prevail. The people always pay, and they suffer and they die for falsehoods. Well, no more. Now is the time for truth. So truth has to out. Truth will out, and this is the time for it. You guys, we have work to do, but I feel there's a place to stand here. Hopefully, it takes us to do it. Have a great day.